Hey everyone, I am coming to you live today, Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. So I am very excited to show you how to make these cards using our Hues of Happiness Suite from our new annual catalog. I have a few things to go over with you first. The first thing is, if you want to shop my store, here is the link to the URL for the website. And I want to go over a couple other things with you. This is our new upcoming annual catalog. It starts May 3rd. I cannot show you the inside. I can only show you the front cover. If you don't have a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. I will be happy to send you a catalog, and I would be more than happy to be your demonstrator. These are our beautiful new in colors. We always have 2 sets of in colors going for 2 years, and so these will be a set of 5 new in colors for 2022 to 2024, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They are much more vibrant in color than you will see on the screen. The first one is Sweet Sorbet. This one is Parakeet Party. Really, it's beautiful. We're going to use that today on this card. This is Tahitian Tide. This is Orchid Oasis, and it's just got just a light hint of purple to it. And then this is Starry Sky. It's an absolutely beautiful color if you're doing anything that you want to make to look like nighttime. So I wanted to show you these. I'm showing you in our glimmer paper. I don't know how well you can see, but it has a little glimmer effect to it. This is also our ombre, so it goes from dark to light, and really, really love these. So I think you'll love this too. We'll get this out of the way. And a couple other things that I want to go over with you real quick. We have our new paper pumpkin coming out for May. You need to sign up. You need to sign up for Paper Pumpkin by May 10th in order to get this. It's going to be an in-color Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a kit. It comes out every month, and we have a different one every month. It's wonderful because everything that you need to make a set of cards is in the kit. This particular Paper Pumpkin will have everything you need to make 10 cards. The price for Paper Pumpkin, if you do one, is $23. And if you order a subscription, it gets lower than that. So if you're interested in Paper Pumpkin, let me know, and I will give you all of the information and get you set up. These are wonderful kits. I really do like them. They're especially good if you're just getting started because they do have everything you need. You don't have to buy anything extra. The other thing I wanted to share with you is our annual catalog paper share and product share. So these are things that we set up on our own as demonstrators. And so I have set up 3 different shares. I have a paper share, and this has, again, there's certain things I can't show you here. You're gonna have to trust me. This designer series paper that is in our new catalog is absolutely beautiful. The ones that I've shown here on this sheet, and these are also up on my website, the ones showing here are ones that I already have. That's why I can show them here. They are beautiful. You would love them. The idea of a paper share is that you get a quarter pack of each paper. So we take a 12 by 12, we cut it into 4 sections, and send you a quarter pack of each paper. This is really good for people, especially who are visual like me. You need to see it in order to know if you like it. You pay a lower price to get all of this. Everything comes 6 by 6, so these are all usable sizes for making cards, and they're wonderful. I also have a product share with embellishments. I only have 4 of the new embellishments on here, so that's all I can show you. Again, you're gonna have to trust me. These are great. They're wonderful. I really like them. And again, you get portions of each of the product. You'll get, 2 yards of ribbon. You'll get a portion of, usable portion of the embellishments themselves, things like that. So again, this is a great way to try them out and see if you like them. And then the other thing that I have is I have an in color product share. So you get all of the new in color products here. Again, the paper is all 6x6 except for the regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You will get 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You'll get 2 yards of each of the new ribbons here. You'll get 2 yards of each of the twine. You'll get a set of 5 of the envelopes and note cards. These are absolutely beautiful. And if you buy the in color product share, you can take a special for shares. You can take this special course. If you are a customer with me, you earn free products with your purchases. So I will have you download this form and you keep track of this form, the purchases that you pay for, and you will earn free products. This is just an example I wrote up. So, you know, you track all of your purchases here, and then you will go on to earn free products for yourself. So this is over and above what you can earn from Stampin' Up! If you have a $150 or more order. Okay, so let's get started on this. These 2 cards are made with our Hues of Happiness Suite. So what I did is I have the DSP here. This is the piece of designer series paper that we are going to use today. I wanted to show you real quick what's in here. I'm going to take this out. We'll set this one aside because we are going to use it. We also have these other beautiful papers. I cannot believe how wonderful these are. These also, they're all double-sided, so this is the other side of that. It's this pretty little, I don't even know what to call it. You know how like you used to play marbles and whatever those things were, I can't remember. This is another one of our papers, and this is the other side of it. Just absolutely gorgeous. Here's another one that's in there, and here's the other side. And then we have this one, and we have the back of it. So these are really pretty. They have great use. And then the paper that we're going to use today, this is the other color that is in there. So it's got this pretty, you know, light pink, violet type, and then we go up into the blues and greens. So really pretty. And this is the back side of that paper. Okay, so we'll get that out of our way. So let's look at the piece we're going to use today. Let me flip this over so you can see what the back of this looks like. It's got these beautiful pinks going to yellows. But we're going to use this side. What I want to show you is I want to show you how to make an easy card that is elegant. So I didn't have to do any stamping here except for the sentiment. Everything else is die cut. This is a wonderful way to make cards. You don't have to do a lot of stamping or a lot of coloring if you're not into that or you don't have the time. So we're going to make this card. The first thing that I want to show you, we're going to cut out these pink flowers. When you cut this, you want to make sure that where you have division between your flowers and your leaves, try to give yourself a little room on each side so that when you set your dies, you have good space to get that little white space around your die cuts. So I kind of cut in between. I hope this isn't making too much noise. And I am going to try to read my comments. So let me take a look real quick and welcome everybody. Oh, thank you. Welcome Kim and Linda and Kathy and Sharon. And yes, Kim, I love the starry sky. It is so pretty. And I love the ombre effect. I'm looking forward to making some nighttime cards with that. Okay. So what I did is I cut these 2 apart. I want to show you something, and I'm going to go ahead and show you now. So we're going to die cut this, but we're not going to die cut all of it. It would take a little bit longer than what we have today. But what I want to show you is when I was done die cutting, this is what I had left. So you can see I die cut almost everything out of this. I die cut all of the leaves and the flowers that I could possibly cut, except I just left a couple things on the side. The other nice thing about this, and what's left, so you have very little waste. If you need more leaves, you've got some little leaves here that you can fussy cut. And I did do that for my cards. You've got 3 sets of these little leaves here that you can fussy cut. So this is really nice because you have very little waste going on here. I like that. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to set this aside. I want to show you, first of all, this is our Happiness Abound stamp set. This is the stamp set that goes with the Hues of Happiness Suite. You can buy this in the suite, or you can buy it in the bundle with the dies. And here are the dies right here. Or you can buy this by itself if all you want are the stamps. So you don't have to buy the whole thing together, you can just get the stamps. We're going to set that aside for now. What we're going to be working on are our dies. I take my dies out of the packaging and I put them in these plastic wrappers, and I set them on this magnet sheet. It makes it a little easier than the sticky sheets that they come with. I actually mounted my magnet sheets. I got these magnet sheets from Amazon, and I mounted them onto like a chipboard type thing. And this is great for keeping my dies together, and I can easily slip them off. So the dies that we're going to use today, we've got multiple dies that we can use for our flowers. I need to flip these over so I can grab them. So we've got 4 dies that we're going to use for our flowers, and we've got 2 dies that we're going to use for our leaves today. Okay, so that's what we're using. When you are placing your dies, I just want to give you a little information here for people who haven't done a lot of die cutting or haven't done any die cutting. When you're placing your dies, you want them to stay where you put them so that they don't shift while they are in the die cut machine. So what I use is these Post-it tabs. What you want to do is you want to kind of touch them against your clothing. You don't want them to be as sticky when you first use them as when they come out, because you don't want to rip your paper. So you take your die, we're going to put around this flower, and you position your die, you move it around until you find where it goes. You'd think I would have this memorized by now, but I don't. Okay, so I've got that one set. Now what you want to do is you want to take your little sticky and you want to set it down so that it holds it in place. So we're going to set that here. Okay, let's get, let's see. Can we get close enough without overlapping here to get this flower? I think we can. So we're going to grab that flower. And we've got this one down here. Whoops, I think it goes this way. You just move them around. Oh, why can I not find my spot here? There I am. I did have it right. So you move that down here. Try to keep your white space even. And then we've got this one right here. Sorry, my throat's a little dry this morning. All right, so we've got this one, and we're going to put it right here. Now we're going to find some leaves to die cut. We will die cut. I don't want to get too close. You don't want to get your dies too close. You don't want them to overlap, because then you won't get a good clean cut. So we're going to do this one right here. And we're going to do the, oh, drop that. Hang on. And we're going to do this one right here. Okay? If I can get it on there, we will. All right. So we've got everything set and we're ready to die cut. This is our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It does both cutting and embossing, which is wonderful. It comes with all of the die plates that you need. So we're going to put our plates on here. My plates are heavily used, so they're pretty worn. You have to die cut this sheet in 2 sections. So while I've got it on here, I'm going to place my die plate on here. I'm going to have to stand up, so I might get a little bit louder. I'm sorry, I'm closer to the phone this way that I'm doing my recording with. Okay. Oops. And it's slippery on paper. So we're going to run this through. You gotta be careful pulling that out because you don't want to pull on those other dies that you have set. Okay, we're going to pull these off real quick. We'll deal with them in a moment. Oops. And then we're going to cut the other two dies that we have. I actually found a mat to put this thing on so it doesn't move around. I was so happy to finally find that. Okay. While we are here with the machine though, we are going to do some quick embossing. This card I embossed using our Fern embossing folder. This is another item that is new in our annual catalog. Hope you can see it here. So this is a really nice embossing folder. It is quickly becoming my favorite. So I will grab out a sheet of my white that I need for embossing. When you emboss, you want to put your paper in your folder. Trying to get it fairly straight. Your Stampin' Up! Logo is up, okay? The wonderful thing about the Stampin' Cut and Emboss is it gives you all of the instructions that you need for die cutting or embossing. So you have everything there right in front of you. You don't have to remember how to put things in. Whoops. I should have held on to that. It's a little tight. A little tight is okay. If you can't turn it, then you know you've got it set wrong and you do not want to force it. The other thing about embossing, when you emboss, you want to put your folders in with the fold going inside the machine. Okay, so we're done with the machine. We're going to get it out of our way. And now we take this out of our folder. And we've got our beautiful embossed fern. Put that back. Okay. Now that I've destroyed my setup here, that's okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to trim this. I already know that I want this piece trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to make sure that I get that trimmed to the right size. When you're embossing, you want to trim after you emboss, because some of the embossing folders are deep enough that they pull the paper and they will make your paper a little bit smaller. So wait to do your trimming until after you have embossed. Okay, let's get those out of our way and we get back to our dies. So we die cut our flowers and our leaves. Oh, I can't get a hold of them, sorry. The nails are not working. Okay, so now we've got some flowers and leaves here. This is not actually everything we need for our card, but we're not going to do a whole bunch more die cutting right now, just simply because it would take a little bit longer. So I just want to make sure to get this video on and not keep you too long today. This little red bowl that I just set those dies in, that is a magnetic bowl that I found online, and I love it. I can set my dies in there and I don't lose them, and I don't have to put them away right away. Okay? Save your little 3M sticky tabs until they're not usable anymore. You don't want to throw those away. You can use them for quite a while. All right, so we've got some of our flowers and leaves, and with the magic of television, we have a lot more. So we have everything that we need, and we've got all of our stuff here in this little bag to make these cards. And I want to get some stuff out of my way. So I will do that now. Okay. The first thing that we need is our card base. This is my card base. It is a standard side fold base. And I cut it, it's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. So it's really 8.5 by 5.5. And you fold it. And then you take, I have all my tools here for me so that I don't forget anything. Need to get something out of my way. Hang on. Okay. Sorry for the noise. So we're going to take our bone folder. This is a bone folder. This is a wonderful tool. It allows you to get a good crisp edge on the side of your card. So you just use it against the side fold and you've got a nice crisp edge there. Okay, so we've got the base of our card. We're going to set that aside for now. Coming back to here, we've already got our embossed layer. We also have, I used Granny Apple Green. I love Granny Apple Green. It's one of my favorite greens in all of the colors that we have. And it goes good with these leaves. I really like the contrast between the greens on here. So I have my Granny Apple Green, which is actually my layer that goes under here. Okay. And then we have this. This is going to be this band that goes across here. But what I did, hopefully you can see this, is that I scored this to get kind of a raised imprint here. Excuse me. The way that I did that was with my trimmer. The trimmer that we sell has both a cutting blade and a scoring blade. You want to make sure that you keep your cutting blade out of the way. We are going to score this. So this is the scoring blade, the light gray. And we're going to just score it. I scored first at about 1/4 of an inch, so you set it down. If you need, in fact, I think I do this morning, if you need, you can hold this down with one of your little sticky tabs so that it doesn't move. You also want to hold your hand here because you don't want the paper to move underneath. And you score it a couple of times. Okay. And then I scored again. Whoops. At about another, what would it be? Where am I at? Another 1/8 of an inch. Oh, I got to get down here. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to score at another 1/8 of an inch away. So now I've got 2 score lines on that side. And I want 3 score lines on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to start at 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to move a 1/16 of an inch for the next 2. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember that these are handmade. These are not factory made. You're not going for perfection. Well, see, I got my score lines a little off, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. So now this is the front of it. Okay. Sometimes when you cut your paper in the trimmer, it gets these little ridges, and you just flatten that ridge down on the edge with your bone folder. Okay, so I've got that piece ready. The next thing that I want to do is I want to do a little gluing first. I'm not going to glue, I never glue to my base until I'm done. Because if you do mess this up, you don't want to have to you don't want to have to try to rip it off your base. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together, just simply because it's easier to work with that way. I've got everything in one place. Okay. When you emboss something, your regular snail glue may not hold. So what you want to do is you want to use your Oh, the word just slipped my mind. Oh, your tear and tape. Words are hard. It's gonna be one of those days. All right, so we're gonna use our tear and tape. Tear and tape is really strong, and it's something that you want to do when you're gluing down things that need a good hold, a better hold. And since this has ridges, you want something like this. So tear and tape is great. It's a two-sided sticky tape. You lay it down first. Okay. You take your bone folder and you press it down so that it gets down there nice and solid. Because the next step is to remove this release tape. And you want to make sure when you remove the release tape that you take up just the tape and not the glue. Okay, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. Again, words are hard. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool for this. I use the sharp end of this. This is a wonderful tool. It's got this little paddle end, which I need to clean off because I had to pull something up the other day. And it has this sharp tool here. So this is great for getting underneath these things. So you want to get underneath and you want to get your release tape off. Can she do it on camera? Oh, she can. Look at that. Okay. So we'll get all of our release tape off here. It's amazing how I need to concentrate to do this. I can't get under this piece. It's being difficult for me. There we go. It's so sticky. Like, it sticks to your hands when you start to do this. You have to hold your hand up and keep it out of the way. Okay, so we've got that off. We're going to put that down on our Granny Apple Green. I like a thin edge when I'm doing things like this, so I try to only leave a 1/16 of an inch. When I put this down, I have shaky hands, and they are especially shaky this morning, so forgive me. So I lay this down, and I try to make sure I'm as even as possible before I actually press it in. Once you press this in, when you're using tear and tape, you're not gonna get it apart. It's pretty tough. So I've got that all pressed in. So now I am ready to start laying down my flowers. So I'm going to be copying this card. Okay. I am going to need, I need my glue dots. I forgot my glue dots. Glue dots are your other adhesive when you need something that is very sticky and when you're working with small areas. So you want to use your glue dots for that. I use that for behind most of my flowers here. The first thing that I want to do is I want to arrange my flowers with the leaves on them, and I want to get that stuck on. So I know that, you know, I had this flower back here, and I had some leaves coming out of it. So what I did is you take your flower, let's move this aside for a second, and you take your adhesive. Oh, have to get it primed and going. So you put some adhesive on the back of your flower because you're going to need something to stick your leaves to. I can't get a hold of this leaf. There we go. So you want to have something that you can stick your leaves to easily. Okay. And then we're going to have another here. I put another on this side. Okay. So there's one of them. This guy, we're going to do another. Trying to find another one of those little flowers in here. I have some extra flowers since I did some extra cutting this morning. So we've got another one of our little flowers. To use this, you just roll it up with your finger. Whoops, I didn't roll it up far enough. Get it to grab, okay? And now we're going to use one of these flowers. So we have a little bit different thing going on here. It's not all the same. We're just going to stick that down there. okay? And now we're going to do this one here. Find another one of my leaves. And we're going to put that going out to this side. This is easy once you already have it designed. If you don't have it designed, you might sit there thinking about it for a little bit, but that's okay. That's all part of the design process. Now we're going to take this flower. This is actually my favorite one. I love roses, and I love this flower. And we're going to take this set of leaves, and we're going to put, I actually put 2 sets of leaves under here. So let me do this one for, oh wait, no, I did do this one first. Okay. And we're going to just stick that one on. And then I did have this other set just kind of hiding under here a little bit. I'll pull this out a little bit more on this one. Ugh. See, it's sticking to my finger. It's so sticky. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that. So now we're back to actually putting our card together. Okay. So again, we've got this, and we need it to stick to this. So again, we're going to have to use our tear and tape to do this, since we've got that raised image. I probably use a little bit more than what I need. I always get worried about it not sticking. So I tend to be the glue queen, and I do the same with dimensionals. When I start using dimensionals to do things, I tend to probably use more than I need. But I would rather use more than send a card to somebody and have something fall off the card. That's no fun. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put this on here, and we're just going to, you just lay it wherever you decide you want to lay it, and line it up against your edge, and hopefully you get it straight. Hopefully I get it straight. Okay, so we've got that. I have a little bit of a lip here because I am going to be tucking in one of these flowers. And that is probably the first thing I'm going to work with. I just have to find it. Okay. So I'm just going to lightly set that there, knowing that that's where that's going to be. I haven't hooked it down yet. Okay. And then I know I am going to have, whoops, this guy is going to be underneath. So I need to make sure when I glue that I leave that space so I don't, you know, I can get my other flower under there. I can do this a couple of different ways. I can glue this guy down first and then this one, which I actually might do since I know where it's going. So I take my glue dots. Here's another great use for your Take Your Pick tool. I don't know if you can see this very well. You want to just get up under your dot and pull it off. Okay. You're going to want to stick your glue dots in a few various places so that all of your elements that you're using stay down. You don't want this leaf to fall off, so put a glue dot on it. Tear off this extra piece of paper right here. It's in my way. And then, whoops, didn't get it. We've got this guy. Oh dear, stuck to my finger. We're probably going to use a couple of these here just to make sure that we're nice and good and stuck down. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we've got a couple glue dots for this side. I could not live without my Take Your Pick tool. I use this thing so much, all the time. Okay. So we've got that flower, so we're going to set it down. And again, sorry for my shaky hands this morning. Okay, now we've got this guy, and we're going to do the same thing with him. Some days the hands shake more than others, and today is one of those days. Okay. And I haven't even had any caffeine. Let's see, looking, okay. trying to make sure I keep up. If you've made some comments and I haven't seen them, then just know that they have not shown up on my computer yet. So we've got this one. Now let's go ahead and set this one down. And again, we're going to tuck it under here, and I'm going to try to turn it so it's a little bit more different, a little bit different than the one up above. Okay. Don't want them to be exactly the same. So you're just working your way down through the card. You're trying to work from the bottom layer up. This goes on top. We need this guy first. Okay. So we've got this little guy. We'll get him all set up. Again with our glue dots. Glue dots are not a fast process. Do I have, apparently I think I might have some comments that aren't scrolling on here. My husband is watching my comments for me and they're not showing up. So we're working on that. All right. So we've got this and we're going to set it about right here. Now I want to do this one. Well, actually I'm doing this one last. Okay, the next thing is I cut along the side. I wanted to show you this real quick. You've got some flowers that are along the side of the, there it is, this one. You've got some flowers that are along the side of your paper. You don't want to throw those away. You want to keep those. I needed one that was already cut for this side here. So rather than take a full image and cut it, I just cut this one off from the side of the paper. So I already had my flower already cut along this edge. All right, I can finally see my comments. Let's see. I'm scrolling back. I'm sorry. Hang on. All right. Here we go. Sharon, yes, welcome first of all, and I love this suite too. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Kim, for the comment on the colors that I chose. I chose my favorite color for this one. I do love this suite too because there are so many different colors to choose from. If you don't like pink and you like purple or blue or green or yellow, there are so many colors. Yes, die cutting from the Designer Series paper is wonderful and it really helps speed things up. Let's see. Welcome, Kathy. Glad you are joining us. Okay, hopefully I think I'm caught up. So back to this. We're going to put this one down. I got this over a little far. I wonder if I can lift it and move it out of my way a little bit. Okay, so this one's going to sit along my edge here. And I am just going to actually use my tear and tape to glue this one down since I've got a good space for that. So I'm just going to throw a little tear and tape on the back of this. Get that set down. And then we're going to lift it off. Lift our release tape. Let me start from this side. I'll have a better edge here. No, I don't. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to put that guy down right here along our edge. Okay. Now for our last flower on here, we want to, ooh, don't fall off, my leaves are falling off, hang on. We want to raise this guy up, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use our dimensionals to do that. We have, oops, those are not dimensionals. We have 3 types of dimensionals. We have dimensional sheets, which are wonderful if you're doing things like this. This particular piece here, I use dimensionals to raise it up, but if I don't want to use the dimensional dots, I can use the dimensional sheets, and I can just cut one piece that goes along the back of this. So I do love dimensional sheets for that. So we have that. We also have two sizes of our dimensionals. I am going to be using both sizes. We've got a tiny one and we've got our regular size. The regular size ones, I can pull these off with my finger. That's pretty easy. So we're going to take those. Oops, come back. Lost my flower. Wow. I'm just having, it's just a day, I tell you. Okay. So we're going to throw a couple of these back here. If you're going to be mailing your cards, you need to make sure that these are going to run through a machine. So you want to get good dimensional coverage so that it doesn't get crushed and your card doesn't come out crushed when whoever you're mailing it to gets it. Okay. So you see that I have these little leaves that are sticking up, and this is why I am going to use my tiny dimensionals here. I gotta get my first one out to get started. All right. So I'm going to stick this one down and get it on here. Sorry, the voice is just going to go this morning. And again, I use my take your pick tool so that I can pull these things out. Now I am actually going to stick that one right back in for a reason. These areas are a little bit too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. I do not use my good, these are my good, I have my good paper snips here. I don't use these when I'm cutting anything that has adhesive on it because I don't want to get adhesive on there. But I'm just going to snip these in half with my scissors so that I have some little half pieces to work with. Get those out of my way. So now I'm going to take my little, you did not cut in half all the way, did you? Oh, we're going to just throw that one away. It's being difficult. Did I get through it? I did. Okay. So I'm going to take my little half dimensional here, and I'm going to put that down. Oh, if I can get it down. My fingers are just stuck on everything today. Oh, get over here. I need to get it in the right space. Sorry, hang on. Having a little dimensional problem here. There we go. All right. Oh, he's still not down right. They are being difficult for me today, I tell you. I hope my head is not in the camera. I'm trying to keep my head away from the camera view. All right. We finally got that guy in. And now we're going to take this guy and put him over here. And I need one more since I had to throw one away. I'll go that way so that I know that I get all the way through it this time. Okay. And again, he's being difficult. It's because it's a brand new sheet of dimensionals. I'm having a hard time getting them off of here. They're in there pretty snug. So I'm going to put this guy down with my finger since he's being difficult. All right. Okay, there we go. Get our dimensionals out of the way. Now you want to peel, they have a little release tape thing on the back too. So you want to peel that off. Got to get it off of these ones. I have watched people peel these and they peel them so fast and I don't know how they do it. I've been doing this for a while and I am not fast at this. I can tell you that right now. And this one leaf is just being difficult and doesn't want to stay where I put it. I didn't get enough glue behind it. But that's okay. Once it's down on the card, it'll stay because it's got the dimensionals. Yes, I have a garbage can near me, but you know, this is easier. Just throw it all over the desk. All right, so now I want to place this down here. So I'm going to put it just like that. Okay. Now I want to stamp and cut my sentiment. And I forgot to get myself a little piece of white paper for that, I believe, if I did. So let me grab that real quick. Hang on. Okay, yes, I just ripped a piece of white paper off that I need, but that's okay. It's just paper, right? All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I actually like to stamp first before I cut, simply because if I get it crooked, then I have to do it again. So I am going to stamp first. Actually, I'll start to show you this before. So this is our new parakeet party. It is just this beautiful lime green. I really love it. Again, I love these colors. And I am going to use, let's see, what do I want? I think today I'm going to use You Are Wonderful in Every Way. I haven't used that one yet. So this is the inside. Our photopolymer stamps now, they come stuck to a piece of acetate, but then you take them off and you can stick them to the inside of your case, which is really convenient. And they're all right in there. Okay. So I'm going to set this down so that I can get it on my block. I'm sorry if my head gets in the way for this one. I'm very OCD about getting things straight. Okay. So we're going to ink that up, test it, make sure we got it fully inked. I could probably do a little bit better than that. Okay. This is a light color, but I really do like it. And hopefully, now that I think about it, hopefully it fits in my oval. Oh dear, that was poor. So now we're going to use the back. I did not do a very good job stamping that, so we're going to try one more time. Hold it down, get it to stick to the paper. That is so much better. Okay. If it doesn't stick to my oval, then we'll have to go back to Happy Birthday. But I'm hoping, or fit. Oh, let me stop and do something real quick. Let me close this, or I'm going to have ink everywhere. And I really don't want that to happen. Okay. So, I'm going to have to cut off a little piece of this to make it fit, because I need to cut the small oval with this one. So you've got to be able to get down there. There we go. This is our double oval punch. You just cut this out. The idea behind this punch is I could cut another, oh, that's the back side, front side. I could cut, you know, say another oval either in the same color, or I could cut it in a different color if I wanted. I decided I didn't really want another color on there, so I just went with the white. I love this punch. It's one that I use a lot. Highly recommend buying that punch. Okay, so this is going to sit right here, and we are going to pop this up with dimensionals. So we're going to flip that over, and we're going to find our dimensionals again. So I threw them across my desk. Sorry about that. And we're going to stick our dimensionals on the back. And like I said, since I probably will be mailing this, I'm putting a little extra dimensional there in the center, just so that when it goes through the machine in the post office, it does not get crushed in the center. I would not want that to happen. And I could have used a dimensional sheet too, although it's a little harder because this is an oval and not a square or rectangle. Okay. We're going to get that lined up on here, hopefully. I'm used to having my face right over my card. Okay. So we've got our card front except for our embellishments. So now we want to stick our card front to our card base. So we're just going to take it. Ooh, that stuck. We're going to use our regular snail adhesive. Oh darn, I lost my edge there. There we go. And again, because my hands are shaking and because I use a 1/16 inch border, we're going to lay this down and kind of check as we set it down that it's straight, and it is. And then we'll press it down. Okay, one other thing, and I can't remember if I did it on this one, I believe I did. I always want to do something inside my card. I don't want a naked inside of my card. So before I do anything else, I'm going to take my card and pop it open. And I am going to choose something to stamp inside. So I'm going to take one of these flowers, keeping it simple. And I forgot to grab a block for this, so forgive me while I grab a block. I need to get one to put on here. Okay. So I'm going to put my flower on my block, just like that. And I'm going to stamp inside. And I am going to use, I have two pinks that I have chosen to work with today. I've got Polished Pink and I've got Melon Mambo. Melon Mambo is my favorite, of course, and it's much of a closer match to these flowers. So I'm going to use my Melon Mambo to stamp my little flower here in the corner. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Close our ink so we don't find it all over our arms. And now I've got my card almost complete. How are we doing for time? It's 11:53. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back and check comments real quick. All right, I think let's see. Kathy, that's great. Kathy Zaramba, if you missed a little bit and you had to run out, you can definitely watch the replay. Thank you everyone for the nice words. I'm really appreciating the support today. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad that you like this card. And yes, Kimberly, I love that vibrant green and two-sided paper. Yes, Kathy, this would make a great Mother's Day card. Definitely. It's actually, one of them is a birthday card for my mother-in-law. So thank you, Lisa. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and do the embellishments on the front of the card. I have chosen to do my brushed brass butterflies. That's kind of hard to say. I love these little butterflies. They're nice and flat, but they give some added texture, and they're really, really pretty. And then I'm also going to try, I haven't tried these yet. These are our new 21 to 23 in color opal rounds. So I'm going to try these today for the insides of my flowers. So again, we have our Take Your Pick tool. So here's another reason for the Take Your Pick tool. On the other side, we have this little putty end. This helps us grab a hold of our embellishments. So you literally just pick them up like that. Oh, those are really pretty. I really like that. You just stick the putty on and slide them, and it grabs the embellishment and holds on to it. It's so much easier than trying to hold on to it with your fingers. All right, we're going to do, we don't need to do one in this flower, but we do, oh, I kind of got my leaf in the way. Well, I'm going to stick an embellishment in there anyway. I'm just going to stick it kind of under my leaf. But I do want an embellishment in the center of that large rose. Okay. Now I want to do my brushed brass butterflies. I always say you can never have enough flowers and you can never have enough butterflies. I love butterflies. I really do. So I'm going to put a couple on here. And these are, of course, all self-stick, so you don't have to worry about gluing anything here with this. It's all done for you, okay? So now we're done with the card. We only have one more thing to do. Remember I said never a naked card inside, never a naked inside. Well, also never a naked envelope. So this envelope, I colored the flap, and I did the same thing with this envelope. So we're keeping this simple today. So we're going to color the flap with just a couple of our pinks. Oops. So I've got my envelope here. You want to take a piece of scratch paper. You want to get your card out of the way. You do not want to get ink on it for this. Take a piece of scratch paper and put between your envelope flap, having a hard time saying that, and the rest of your envelope so that you don't get ink on it. We've got two different pinks we're going to work with today. We've got our Melon Mambo and we've got our polished pink. Oh. So I'm going to use our blending brushes for this. I love these brushes. They come in a set of 3. I have, I think, 18 of them now. You do not need to clean these off when you use them. The goal with these brushes, though, like I have one for my darker pinks, one for my lighter pinks. So I have my brushes set up so that I don't need to, like I said, I don't need to wash them. You can wash them. These are all water-based inks, so you can wash them and the ink will come out, but you don't need to wash them. The longer the ink stays in, actually the better impressions you're going to get in the future, because it becomes more saturated with ink, so it'll look a lot better. So I'm going to take first, I'm going to do my lighter pink. So I'm going to do my polished pink, and you're just going to rub this through your ink. You want to start off of your edge. See how it gets that kind of, it's kind of chunky there. You don't want that. You want a nice, soft image once you get to what you're inking up here. You don't need to press real hard. You just start here and you move here. Okay? And I'm just going to try to do, I'm just kind of going all over. I'm not too worried about this. Now I'm going to take my Melon Mambo and I'm going to do the same thing. And this is my darker color. So I kind of go through some of the areas that aren't colored yet. And you can do however much you want. The more you do, the deeper the color gets. So if you keep coloring, you're going to get a deeper, darker shade of what you're doing. I just want it to look kind of blended with the two colors. So I'm probably going to stop there. Close your ink pad so you don't wear them. I'm going to move these out of my way so they don't get on my card by accident. Okay. And now we've got our envelope. So now we've got our card and our nice pretty envelope all ready to go. And you're done. Okay. So that is how you make this very simple, elegant die-cut card out of the Hues of Happiness. Okay, we'll get some of our little extra things out of the way here and just show you what we have for the day. Put this back where you can see it. If you need anything, you can go to my store right here. If you place an order, if that order is under $150, please use this host code. If your order is over $150, you will get free product, and I do not want you to use this host code. So if you do order anything and your order is over $150, then you will want to get your free host rewards. So make sure that you do that. This is the other card that I did using the larger flowers. This was the card that we copied today. Oops, let me get that out of the way. Sorry. And we have that. So that is what I have for you today. I am excited to continue doing lives. This was my first live demonstration, and I am so happy that you joined me today. Let me see what other comments there are. Let's see. Thank you, Kathy Zaramba. I use DSP sometimes too to do my envelopes. The reason I did not use DSP on these is because the piece of DSP I wanted to use was the back of these, and I wanted to preserve my flowers for now, so I'm going to have to buy more of this DSP so that I can cut the backs of it as well. I love paper, and I can hoard paper easily. I have had to learn how to chop it up. Thank you, Kathy Sanford, and thank you, Kimberly. And thank you, Jason. Welcome. I'm glad that you made it here. Thank you, Linda. Great. If anyone has any questions, I'll hang out here for a few seconds. There is definitely a delay. There's about a 10-second delay between what I see on the laptop versus what you're seeing here. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And if you have any questions after the fact, just go ahead and message me. You can message me through the page, or you can message me directly, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. It was my first live demonstration, and I was a little nervous, but I feel good knowing that you all enjoyed it. Yes, Kimberly, using the ink and saving the DSP for other projects is a good idea. Definitely. And it's pretty. You know, on this one I did the pink and the green together, and I really liked it. So you don't always have to use DSP. Definitely learn how to use your ink. Okay. I'm going to go, and you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I hope that you have some good weather to enjoy, and you have a productive weekend. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.